Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tom Green Farmcast. I'm Tom Green. What is the Tom Green Farmcast? Well, the Tom Green Farmcast is some interview segments taken out of my new show, The Tom Green Farm. Here we are on the Tom Green Farm right now. This is where I live in rural Ontario with my wife Amanda, my donkey Kia, my mule Fanny, and Alora and Aria, the horses, as well as the chickens, Loretta, Patsy, Shania, Dolly, June, and Ann, who were all killed by chickens, and now they're named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the new ones.
Killed by chickens?
Oh, did I say killed by chickens? Did I say killed by chickens?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the chickens weren't killed by chickens. That would be weird. It was coyotes and foxes that killed the chickens. Thanks, Mom. My mom's a producer on the show. She corrects me sometimes, like all the time. That's good. I appreciate it because, you know, it would have sounded completely ridiculous if I said the chickens were killed by chickens. It's going to be a great show today. The Tom Green Farmcast, of course. These are outtakes from the Tom Green Farm. Make sure you tune into the Tom Green Farm where you can see all sorts of extra stuff, extra goofy stuff that we get into on the farm with my celebrity friends. This week on the Tom Green Farmcast, we have Jay Baruchel, the incredible comedic superstar, who's Canadian, of course, but has done huge Hollywood movies, and he comes on and talks about his experience working with Clint Eastwood when he was quite a bit younger. Jay was directed by Clint Eastwood on the movie $1 Million Baby. He's got some funny stories about hanging out on the set with Morgan Freeman. You know him from Tropic Thunder. You know him from so many incredible movies. Make sure you go check out the Tom Green Farm on Crave. This is the Tom Green Farmcast. It's a great episode. Let's pop in and have a listen to my conversation with the great Jay Baruchel. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your, what you just told me.
Well, yeah, I was just, I told you that I didn't smoke weed when I got up this morning, which is usually what I do with my cup of tea at the cottage.
Now, do you smoke marijuana every day? Do you talk about that type of stuff publicly?
I do, yeah, sure. Yeah. It depends what I have to do that day, but yeah, I certainly do.
Has it been a big change since they legalized marijuana in Canada for marijuana users?
It's the best.
It's nice to be back in Canada.
You lived down there for basically 20 years plus?
Yeah,
straight,
21 years. You know, just being out in the country like this, just out in the nature is just a huge difference on its own. You definitely are one of the more vocal, proud Canadians in the world of show business.
Yeah, maybe.
It seems sometimes some people don't talk about their Canadianness as much as you.
On my mom's side, my mother grew up in a military family where, mercifully, ours was never a household where the brass ring was abroad. You know, for better or worse, in my family, we were raised to believe that this was the best country the world had come up with so far, and that we came by that honestly because my family has served the country for generations. And then on my dad's side, my dad was an immigrant. My dad's family picked Canada after, sort of fleeing some kind of difficult situations where they came from. Canada gave them a life and prosperity and the ability to be who they wanted to be. At 18, I started working in the States. And so that just kind of like made me even more, dug my heels into that stuff even more.
I mean, you started in a children's show.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for a long time.
95, since 1995.
What was that show called?
I got killed in the opening of an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then I did a show called My Hometown when I was like 12, started when I was 12, and we shot that like every summer for a few years. It was on the YTV back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. What year was year one for the Cogeco or Rogers thing in Ottawa?
I started my Rogers show in 94.
Okay, yeah. I got down to L.A. to work in 2000. And so it was kind of around the same time. I remember this also because there was a time in Los Angeles where if anybody heard you were Canadian, the fucking first thing out of their mouth was, "Do you like Tom Green?"
I apologize.
No, it was the best. We were so proud. We were all so proud.
I mean, you were working with Seth Rogen, another legendary Canadian.
That's right,
so
yeah.
That's interesting. I always found that interesting because there was sort of a Canadian group there.
Yeah.
Working with Judd Apatow
Yeah.
and a bunch of American folks.
Yeah.
I mean, was there some sort of, I don't know, Canadian sort of shorthand, or was there any
Certainly,
did you sometimes mess with the Americans about, you probably all think we live in igloos? Or
I mean, I was insufferable to, and I'll take this opportunity to apologize to all the Americans that knew me in that time.
Very Canadian thing to do is to apologize.
Yes, it is. But I would never miss an opportunity to educate any on anything. And so I was that guy who, if somebody mentioned something, I would be like, oh, yeah, they're Canadian. Oh, yeah, that's a Canadian invention. You can thank Canada for that.
Yeah, I know you make a lot of Canadian movies and Canadian shows, but do you think people try to make more Canadian stories?
I think on a bigger scale, I just don't know that it'll be in Hollywood. I know that all I care about going forward is Canadian stories on screen.
You directed Goon.
I did the second Goon. Michael Dowse directed the first Goon. Michael Dowse, director of It's All Gone Pete Tong and the Foo Bar movies. A pretty incredible director. And he and I are actually building a feature to do hopefully this fall, maybe next year. We're doing the real true story of Ken Carter. I don't know if you know The Devil at Your Heels, if you ever saw that movie about a guy who tried to jump the St. Lawrence River in a rocket car in the 70s.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember that. And that wasn't Evel Knievel.
No, it was Ken Carter,
Right.
a Montreal boy. And so Dowse wrote an amazing script that he's directing, and I'm going to play Carter.
You've been in some of the biggest movies, so you can compare what it's like making a movie in Canada to making a movie in the United States with huge budgets, huge epic war movie you made, Tropic Thunder. Hilarious movie.
Yeah, very good movie. Very good movie.
Well, how's that compare when you're making a movie like that to making a movie in Canada? Obviously, it's different, but it must be also extremely exciting to be in a movie with Robert Downey Jr.
and Jack Black and Ben Stiller and Nick Nolte and also that specific movie. To your question about what's the difference, in my experience, the difference working on American produced and Canadian produced stuff is just scale, typically. And so the American shit, money gives you time and bells and whistles. And so, you get to shoot that movie for 7 months as opposed to a month and a half or something, right? Like Blackberry, we shot for what is by Canadian standards a long time. We had 35 days to shoot that. That's a long shoot, right?
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder was like 90 something or 80 something shooting days. I left to go down to Hawaii on Canada Day, and then I came home. We stopped shooting U.S. Thanksgiving, but the job is the same. The job, whatever you're doing in this world, is to be truthful in the most interesting kind of way you can be.
Acting. Was that something that you studied, or did you just have a natural ability to?
I definitely learned it. I never studied it. I definitely learned it over time, but I have a high school education, and that's that. And now luckily I started acting when I was 12 or 13, but I just kind of figured it out or tried to. But also, I always figured it out as a function of the thing I was doing, because my mother said to me when I first came on set, she said, you want to be a director when you grow up. You don't want to be an actor. This is the best film school in the world. So every day that you're an actor, make sure you're learning, you're paying attention, ask questions, and blah, 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 and absorb all of it. And so I got into acting because I love movies, not the other way around. And so I have always tried to do the thing that I was required to do, not make everything a fucking guitar solo, Some actors they see the movie in their head. Other actors they see their demo reel in their head. I think I've been both of those guys at different times, but at 43, having done this for 31 years, I think if I can say the closest I can come to describing what I do, it's being truthful in as compelling a way as I can manage.
You find it intimidating when you're on a big movie set like that, or have you been doing it so long you just kind of?
I've only been scared on one set, because when I was lucky when I was like 22 or something. I was in a Clint Eastwood movie called $1 Million Baby,
Right.
that won a bunch of Oscars, and so my first day on set there, I was absolutely mortified, and it was like a thing I wasn't used to because there's a few spots in my life where I'm never daunted, never anxious, and I am at the top of the hill. And being on set was always one of those, and I think that's just because I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I also loved it. I love being on set. So I wasn't used to being scared on set. And then I got to the set of $1 Million Baby, and it was incredibly daunting.
Clint Eastwood's directing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman is acting with me.
Right.
And I had this idea, this notion in my head that, like, oh, Clint Eastwood, my granddad, God rest him, he was a big fan of Eastwood. He hadn't heard of Judd Apatow or any of these people that are incredible. But my granddad, I've worked with some special people, but my granddad didn't know who David Cronenberg was, or Ben Stiller, or Judd Apatow, or Roger Avery, or any of these people. But Eastwood is Eastwood.
Sure.
And so I was like, had this weight of, I cannot fuck this one up, man. Mm-hmm. And I was like scared shitless, and also, especially when you're younger as an actor, you're really desperate for validation after every single take, or at least I was, where I would like need someone to tell me that was awesome or whatever, and so at every take I'd say, how was that, sir? And he'd always just say, that was fine. That was good. That was fine. And every time I was like, oh God. And like, I started envisioning in my head, I was like, he's having a quiet, that I just saw him do this to somebody. He was telling somebody to call the casting director, call my agent to tell them they need to replace me. Like, I could just picture, I was chest moving all of the like hushed conversations on phones about get this fucking kid away from our set, and I was just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. And I think Morgan Freeman saw me kind of in my head because he like leaned over unsolicited and said, if he doesn't say anything, it means he likes it. I was like, oh, okay. Right. Because he hired me to do the thing I did in the audition. So he would only tell me, don't paint like that if I was painting wrong. And that's kind of the thing. He hires people to do the thing. He lets them do it. You only hear from him if you're doing it wrong. And it was this, talk about light bulb going on. For me, it was, that saved my career. Because from that point on, never again did I ever ask for one more take. Give me one more take. Can I try again? And from that point on, people would say, well, how do you feel? I was like, fine. Doesn't matter. How do you feel? You're cutting it. You're directing it. How I feel about it means nothing. If you've got the thing that you need, if I did the thing you need me to do for your movie, then that's the end of my job as actor. Boy, that saved my fucking life, man.
What a cool moment to have in your head, though. And
yes.
Then Morgan Freeman leaned over. I'm just sitting there, I'm in my head, Clint Eastwood, did he like it? And Morgan Freeman leaned over.
I know.
Saw that I was a little...
Pretty cool. He was lovely, man. He was a really, they were both incredibly kind with me.
Well, this has been so much fun. I mean, this has been amazing to get to hang.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for this incredible book.
Of course, yeah. Oh, it's got an inscription.
Yeah. To Uncle Metro. The best thing to be written in there. I don't know what that means, but it's incredible.
To Uncle Metro.
To Uncle Metro. Wow.
Thanks for having me, Uncle Metro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Jay. Awesome. Cool.
Awesome.
Cheers. Well, that was a lot of fun talking with the hilarious Jay Baruchel. Thanks, Jay, for coming on the show. What an amazing guy. It's so much fun to get to hang out with all of these incredible people from the world of show business. And always especially nice to be able to talk to some great Canadians like Jay. Nobody could be more proud to be Canadian than Jay. I'm sure there's many people that are as proud. I myself am very proud to be Canadian, but nobody could be more proud than Jay Baruchel. He is always wearing his Canadian pride on his sleeve, and I had the honor of putting up a Canadian flag here on the farm with Jay, and it was a lot of fun. And we talk about that, of course, in this interview. But if you want to see it, you have to tune in to the Tom Green Farm, right? Of course, this is the Tom Green Farmcast, where you get some excerpts from our interviews from my show, The Tom Green Farm. But if you go to the show, there's a whole bunch more happens on the show, including I get to hang out with the great Glenn Humplick, who you know from the early Tom Green Show years, as well as some shortwave radio enthusiasts who came on, and we tried to contact Sputnik that was flying over. Sputnik is still flying over, by the way. People don't know that. So we spoke to people in outer space. I think we did that. You know, it's a lot of fun doing this broadcast, the Tom Green Farmcast, because it kind of reminds me of my early days in radio, where I started out at Ottawa University radio station, CHUO, which was where I was on 89.1 FM every Friday night. I like doing radio. This is radio. Hello, everybody. You're listening to the radio right now, as we are having another fun episode of the Tom Green Farmcast. So much to be seen here on the show, The Tom Green Farm. I hope you're having a nice time driving in your cars or making your breakfast this morning or lunch. See, that sounds like something someone would say on the radio, does it? Or
That sounds good. Yeah, you can break into a weather forecast too if you want.
a weather forecast, yeah. I could do that. I'm not sure when this is. I don't know how that works. It's just sunny. It's just sunny. Sunny today. Whoa, what the hell? Like a sparrow, just like a barn swallow just flew by, scared the crap out of me. Anyways, you can't see that on the radio. Theater of the mind. A barn swallow just buzzed me and scared the crap out of me. That's what's going on here at the Tom Green Farm. But you're just listening to the Tom Green Farmcast today. You'll have to tune in to the Tom Green Farm only on Crave if you want to see me get buzzed by a low-flying barn swallow. That and so many more exciting things happening here at the Tom Green Farm. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. This is the Tom Green Farm. It's not the Green Tom Farm. This is my favorite farm because it is my farm. Welcome to the Tom Green Farm. My name is Tom Green. Here I am in my house out here in rural Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
A house that was built in 1857.
How cool is this?
Where we'll be doing a talk show trying to get Tony Danza.
Your dad can't hear you.
I heard you.
Who's the boss?
I
Get him
can't
up
hear
here.
you, but I can't remember either.
We're trying to get Tony Danza up here. Not in a television studio, but on a farm. There's bears here, yeah.
Do you know in the gay community a bear is a thing?
I did know that,
Of course you do.
We're building a ramp for Tony Hawk.
If you build it, we might come.
Interviewing celebrities.
That was just one of the most memorable nights of my life.
That is intense. They look alien.
You had a freaky career.
Freaky.
I'm just falling in love again and again and again today.
Parle français pour 2 minutes.
Sois capable de le faire?
Oh my God.
Allô, toute la gang.
So my friend Dead Mouse.
We've lived off of the land so long as that land was able to sustain us.
There's something very peaceful and magical about the first snowfall.
Driving along the road in the rolling hills, I'm like, I wish I could just run in those fields, but you never really do.
Gets the blood going, huh? Did you go on Conan dressed as a horse?
Centaur.
Come over here for fun and you get your hand bitten off, right?
This is the great joy of my adult life, is getting into horses.
Wow.
And I'm excited about all the people that we're going to present to you.
I know the legacy of Bare Naked Ladies. I know what it means to other people.
Did I intimidate you with my skills?
Yeah.
I'm a seasoned professional.
You've been making television a long time.
Darth Vader's wiener.
Mr. Tom Green, how are you?
I've only been scared on one set.
Cheers.
This is the Tom Green Farm.